Just hold that there so I can hear it. It says here, you complained you were served with a notice following your re-diagnosis of Asperger's. Previously, your diagnosis indicated you as having schizophrenia. It says here you looked into my complaint, and then it says down here, as part, the project provides support to those who require support to those who you provide it. And then it says here, each of us working towards a support plan, the association can take steps to end the tenancy. Now, here's what the problem I have is. The support plan is like a care plan, a CPA. And since I've moved in here, I was told I'd be out in a few weeks because I was a vulnerable adult, a victim of crime, and I had a secure tenancy. And if anyone from this building even came into my building, they'd lose my job, and I wouldn't have to enter into a care plan agreement. Now, I never entered into a care plan agreement, and breaking the terms of a care plan agreement subjects me to eviction. I cannot be subjected to eviction to the terms of a care plan agreement because that agreement isn't there. What have you got to say to that?
Ronan, you were referred to us by Path Team, similar to other residents who were referred to us. You were not referred to us only just for a few weeks. We have no record of that. We are aware that you had your tenancy in general needs, you had difficulties.
Okay,
and
I can see what's happening is you're dribbling along what you think the facts are, and I presented something to you and you've ignored it. I was giving a notice of eviction according to not going along with a support plan. That support plan that keys into the tenancy agreement doesn't apply to me because I never opted for that support plan. That's number one. Number two, please let me finish. This is very, very important. Number two, you said according to the PATH application. The PATH application was for a vulnerable adult that was a knifing victim to be moved on quickly. Now, the social worker never moved me on. You never moved me on. It was allowed to expire. The PATH plan I had required no care plan agreement or support plan. I was being in and out very quickly because of my vulnerability in being in danger in the previous place I lived in, not my vulnerability, and I need support in my daily living. So you allowed that PATH application to expire, and I didn't even know it existed. Why didn't you tell me it existed, and why did you allow it to expire?
All referrals here are people who have a support need. Yeah? And you were referred to us on that basis. Yeah? Hence, we wanted you to engage with the Gold Hook Road staff.
Okay, we'll end this point here because he's going according to his idea of the type of PATH client I was and moved in under, and that's different to the actual PATH application I had. And I who allowed it to expire. He didn't even tell me about it. Okay, here goes. Next bit. I want to get this over with quickly. You expressed your unhappiness about measures taken regarding the repair of your cooker, that you received a letter stating that the repair could only be done to your cooker if your cooker was cleaned, and I didn't want ongoing monitoring to support me every day in cleaning my cooker. Now, here's the problem I put to you. You carry out weekly health and safety checks, etc. My cooker that you said wasn't clean actually was, because my community support worker looked at it, she verified it was clean, and John gave an odd phone call to look ahead about my cooker being unclean when it was clean. This is mental illness, looking at a clean cooker, saying it's unclean, and you're going to send people into my flat each night to help me clean my cooker. My cooker was clean, it's still clean. You can't be coming up with excuses like that not to carry out repairs or attach in some type of support team into my home that say I allowed it when I didn't allow it and some excuse over the cleaning of the cooker. I put to you that my cooker was clean.
Ronan, if you read a bit down the letter, what it says is, we are required to do health and safety check. And I said that we're happy to do the health and safety check jointly, the time and dates which is suitable to you, you know.
Okay, I
Yeah,
understand.
so, you know, we're trying to meet you halfway and how we can do, you know, what we are supposed to do, because we're expected to do health and safety checks. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Here goes again. There seems to be a unifying theme going through here of him dribbling on about support, attached to me being in here under a path plan. Stop. Basically, the so-called support would help me coming in each week to do my health and safety checks as part of supporting me with the type of client I am. There's two groups here. There is the Housing Association, Look Ahead Property, and then there's a care group. Now, the care group shouldn't come near me, and every time they come near me, it's under the justification of their concern and care and the care plan. Now, two things. Number one, in the absence of the fact that I'm a client to this care group, I come under the terms of the tenancy. I get the same rights as any other tenant. Coming into my home every week to check out my cooker, to check out my fire alarm, doing weekly checks is wrong. By law, the gas gets checked once every 2 years. I get a receipt for the checking of the gas. Do excuse me. Stop, don't interrupt me. I get a receipt for the checking of the gas once every 2 years. And by law, they can't come more than that to ensure that's not used as a way of harassing clients by the landlord. Now, you don't get your gas checked every 2 weeks or every 2 months. I get it checked every few weeks, even though I've taken the receipt. And by law, as a tenant, you're not supposed to come back for 2 years. But you get around it by saying, well, I'm not a tenant, I'm a client under a care plan. Your care plan group, I'm a tenant to the property group. The unifying theme of coming into my home under a care plan is wrong because I haven't agreed to the care plan. What have you got to say to that? The care plan doesn't exist, and at best, it's an ongoing thing that
Ronan,
any time. Ronan,
this place is supported housing. This is not general needs. You used to live in general needs where it is housing and no support provided, whereas here is supported housing, support housing. So we do both, yeah? As Look Ahead, as the landlord, we have a responsibility, and as a support provider as well. Yeah.
Okay. The only way they could get us into a place like this under very high support. High support usually means less liberty. In other words, you're almost putting yourself into a prison when you lose all that liberty. Now, nobody would agree to this voluntarily. So what they do is, once we're in here, they start knocking on our doors, and we have to agree to this. And there's nothing. Well, they can't make us do it. And then all of a sudden, out of the smallest thing, all of a sudden, there's a cosy chat or something. We lose our liberty. We're in the hospital. One way or the other, they get us in the hospital in the first few months we're here. And in order to get out and get our liberty, what happens is we have to agree to a care plan to exit. Now, here's the problem. When they do a sanity test, those sanity tests, they always lock us up on lies. And what happens is, do you hear voices? No, I don't hear voices. Are you in a happy place? Yes, I'm in a happy place. Then they ask you a trick question at the end of the sanity test. The trick question is, are you agreeable or disagreeable with the care we may provide? All this time they're ratcheting up the stress. A person thinking the test is over is in a state of uncertainty, which is disagreeable. And thinking the test is over, are you going to be disagreeable with any decision we might make? I think that's ridiculous. And in a state of uncertainty, in that psychological state, they always answer disagreeable. But we have learned this trick over time, and with my Asperger's, I'm very good at being objective. I said agreeable, I passed the sanity test, I was locked up in a lie. Now, all of this about coming in here under support plan, and once you're in here, everybody comes in with their eyes open under support plan is a lie. Because everyone who comes in here within a short period gets sectioned under a lie. And then we have to come out with the forced plan forced on us. The fact that it's forced on us means there's a lack of agreement, which means those support plans are illegal. And you're taking people hostage, and they're also committing medical assault.
Okay.
I was re-diagnosed with Asperger's.
Okay, Ronan. My understanding from what you're saying is, you can you let me finish first?
I don't know what's going on here.
Okay, you finish then first.
Okay.
Now, what I'm saying is, you're interested just in housing and not the support, or as you call it, the care package that has nothing to do with you, say. Then let's do something about your housing, whether to find you another accommodation. We talk and liaise with the council to find.
I tried to talk to the gentleman behind me, John, the other day, and he said it's put me in with Habentech. Habentech is disability under a care plan. Now that's strings attached again. It seems to be a care group that's always trying to put you into property and key in a care element whereby it promotes, it's all part of the care industry. Now here's the thing, on leaving this place, I wanted to leave as quickly as I could when I get in. In this place, they're jumping for joy at a chance for us to move on and be independent. That being the case, how do you answer that my path application when I first moved in as a vulnerable adult, not as somebody necessarily with schizophrenia or dangerous, that my path application was allowed to expire and I wasn't told about it? If you wanted to move me on when I was under high priority, you'd have told me about the path application and you'd have moved me on. You didn't. You allowed it to expire. Why did you allow it to expire and not tell me about it?
There is no expiry for this. There is no expiry. What is important is if you engage with staff, staff will support you with your housing, with your move on. Now, okay, I understand you don't want the support, that's fine. Then you're interested for the move on, independent living. That's yeah, if you let me finish. Independent living, that's fine. Then a proper application is done, then you engage with staff, you provide any...
Okay, that's not what happened. We're going around in circles. There was a path application and you didn't move me on. And then when the path application expired, you were complaining about me not you were complaining about me not moving on when I had a chance, and if you really wanted to move me on, you'd want to along with that application. Here goes the third point. You indicated that you believe that a court transcript is a true reflection of events, and that you were not able to determine if look-ahead staff gave statements or whether it was the evidence of CMT. That you do not believe court transcripts are a true reflection of events. What happened basically was, once I was falsely committed under a lie at GP surgery, whereby I passed the sanity test and I said I was agreeable, and then they said I was disagreeable. I can do it really quickly for the benefit of the people around me. What happens is, when you say you're disagreeable and they leave after the sanity test, they immediately have their answer and commit you there and then. The fact that they went away for an hour and had to think about everything I said, and then came back and said I was disagreeable, that decision took an hour. If I was actually disagreeable, they wouldn't have come back an hour later and it would have been instant. The reason it took them an hour is because I didn't say I was disagreeable. I was committed under a lie. I had my liberty taken away, I was taken hostage and was medically assaulted and all the rest of it. Now here's the thing about it. Once I was in there, there was evidence given to... Okay, I'll stop it here. What's it say here? When I met you at Look Ahead, you gave me a copy of page of tribunal report. Oh yeah, this is easy. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. Staff. The report includes staff from Look Ahead, and the report at this tribunal includes staff from Look Ahead, and no oral or written submissions were made by Look Ahead. I can therefore confirm that Look Ahead staff did not make any oral or written submissions to any tribunal regarding you or in any way connected with you. In other words, no information came to the tribunal about me living here. When I was at the tribunal, it said I was misbehaving here. On the Dr. Jolly complaint, report into the complaint I put, he said I was misbehaving here. It was also said that I was going around taking people hostage. Now, I can't say anything about that, but on the court report, whatever the hell you want to call it, the tribunal report, it said I was misbehaving in the building, which was an account of what was said at the tribunal. For it to be said that I was misbehaving in the building on written evidence from the tribunal, and for it to be said there and then that day meant that that information about me misbehaving in the building was communicated from here. They didn't get it from ours. So you were telling them that I was misbehaving in the building and that it affected my losing my liberty. So for you to say no is a lie because it's written on a court report, what have you got to say to that?
Ronan, I have put it in black and white in this letter to you that we have not submitted any oral or written information about you to the tribunal. We haven't.
Okay, I won't take your word for it. What I'll do is I'll look at the tribunal report, and on the tribunal report it mentions I was misbehaving in the building, and on the Dr. Jolly, whatever you want to, have you heard that name like that, Dr. Jolly? On the Dr. Jolly, the senior consultant at Charing Cross Hospital, on the actual response to my complaint, he's actually said in that I was misbehaving in the building, etc. Now, information about me in the building was given. They had to ask you for you to give them that information. The information was given. There's no question because it's written in the actual court report. And I was there at the time and I remember it being said, if you have a problem with that, take it up with the magistrate and take it up with the senior consultant. And that's contradictory to what you're saying. Take it up with the magistrate, but it happens to be true. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're saying otherwise, but it's written down in the court report. I can say what you want. I'm just going to read this out.
Yeah. Well, I have put it in writing for you, Ronan.
No, it is written. Anything.
It is in black and white.
Okay. I'm sure in your mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
If the court paper, the tribunal paper, if it says that look, I had provided this information, you show me, and
I could do it right now. I could do it right now.
Yeah, because I don't think there will be any tribunal documentation.
Okay, that's enough. You're going from the specific to the general to dilute things. So here goes. When asked how you would like the above issue to be resolved, you stated you'd no faith in the management team and you'd like to be given priority to move out into independent accommodation within a month. And let's see what it says here. Engage. Oh, yeah, here you are again. It says that you were sad about how I felt, but in order to resolve it, you'd be more than happy for me to meet with me again and for me to engage with you supporting me. In other words, that's you knocking on my door trying to push more care plans on me. I was first came into the building, you forcefully dispensed medication to me. And you said you don't dispense medication. There's cups out there, proof that you do dispense medication. Even when I was allowed to self-medicate, you took my repeat prescription and you still went to the chemist. The thing being that you received the medication every day in the office and you bully me into having to be there and take it with you, and somehow this is part of some support plan, or somehow by you forcing me to take the medication that you're given to me, you're caring for me and therefore you've involved yourself in my care and I volunteered for it. I never volunteered for it. And when you were taking that medication from the second chemist while I was medicating from the first, that medication was dispensed outside the law. That was illegal dispensing of drugs. Basically, by law, that's drug dealing.
Ronan, when you say you, are you referring to me as Joseph?
There's different types of you. There's you plural, there's you singular.
Okay, or maybe...
You singular basically means you. You plural means you collectively, you as a group. You can say you as a group.
One, obviously, I haven't...
Grammar.
Normally, I don't deal directly myself with the medication. But the most important is you have the right to take or not to take medication. Because, nobody is forced to take medication. Even if you speak to your care coordinator or the doctors,
Yeah, that's in theory. If that's the case, why are you forcing me to take it each? Well, it's on camera. People are in the hallway, and you make us take it, and if you don't, you report us, and people are in fear of losing their liberty. And by having us on camera taking the medication, moved in here, I was moved in as a stabbing victim. there's a scar. And basically, I was treated as dangerous, and when I came in here I was treated as very dangerous. I subsequently got re-diagnosed with having Asperger's. Now, since I was moved in as a vulnerable adult by the police because I was in danger, to be moved into a similar place of a similar standard and not lose out on the legal status of my tenancy compared to what I had before. I previously lived with a secure tenancy in an unfurnished flat for 15 years. Now, when I came in here, I was told out of a secure tenancy. I got some type of short-hold tenancy that wasn't what I was promised. I was supposed to be moved on quickly to secure tenancy, and I was supposed to be vulnerable and not be anywhere unsafe. I stopped someone coming into the building. She said she was with a company called Circle, CIRCLE, and they're a type of management group that monitor ankle tags. Also, the person next door shouted that he was in prison for 6 months. I was a vulnerable adult with no history of violence, with no criminal record. Vulnerable, moved into a place of safety, but moved into a place of equal terms of what my tenancy was before, under the police path move. Now, when I came in here, it's not a place of safety because the people here, the client group, they're wearing ankle tags and they got prison records. I was told nobody here was dangerous by John. The fact that people have ankle tags and they're monitored by Circle, well, they don't wear the ankle tags, the decoration. I'm in a place that I was supposed to be put into for safety, and it is clear and obvious that it's not a place of safety, and that's not paranoia. What are you going to say to that?
I think you were aware that this place was supported housing. This, you wanted similar tenancy the way you were there in general needs. This is not general needs.
Okay, what I was aware of and what I thought when I came in here, that's my mind, and he's not a mind reader.
I'm afraid...
And I don't know, he's talking around in circles, and then he's saying something is written, so it must be true, and what must be true is written is a lie, he's written that he knows to be untrue, and I can't understand this man. But I thank you very much for the mediation meeting. Oh yes, you have to say what this is. Could you say that this is a mediation meeting, or it's a meeting that is a criticism of the response you gave to my complaint?
Yeah, well, thank you for coming for this. Want me to hold it? Okay. This is a mediation meeting that was arranged between Ronan, myself, and there are 3 people present here. Yeah, and my name is Yusuf Habtu, and I'm the area manager for Lockhart for Mental Health Services. And I'm happy to have this meeting with Ronan to address any issues that we have. Yeah.
What is the meeting addressing?
Yeah. Well, the meeting is addressing some of the concerns, issues that you have in my reply to the complaints you had, and you have a copy of the letter with yourself.
Oh yeah, that thing there. Okay, I don't want to hear about that. It's trying to make you feel important or something.
I want to record you this.
Okay, this meeting is for the look-ahead complaint that I made. Basically, there's no get a reference number on it or something.
There's a page missing here.
There's a page.
Oh yeah. This is in relation to complaints made by Ronan in January, and this is the outcome of the complaints investigation made in February, and a response was sent to Ronan on 28th of February.
Okay, all right then.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we've had the complaint was made, the report was given by Joseph. I've come here for the dialogue into how I was happy and unhappy with it. The next stage, the final stage, is that I get a final response. Now, this means due to the self-regulatory setup that Luca has had, when that happens, they'll have gone through the whole process and the self-regulatory process will be exhausted. So Look Ahead will have done what they can and I'll have done what I can, and I eagerly await the final response. May I ask you, Joseph, when you're going to do a response to the concerns I've raised here If you're gonna, when are you going to put it in writing?
I think, yeah, I think we're going in circle here, Ronan. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Now, this is a response to exactly, you know, the concerns you raised, and it's addressed here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I think what's important, Ronan, is, come on, this is how we move forward.
Okay, I understand.
How we move forward, you know, we seriously take your concern about your housing. You want to move on. Come on, let's focus on that and how we take that forward. Yeah. And London Syrians are here. Yeah?
Okay.
They will be taking over from 1st of June.
Okay, I understand it.
Yeah?
Since London...
How they can support you with your housing from the 1st of June. Yeah?
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. Okay. So, Joseph, I'd like to ask you, the final response is simply a written document as to what I've said to you here, from what you can remember, how you've looked at what I've said about me, for example, saying that there isn't a care plan agreement and you'd no right to put it on me, and that you're to move me on without any move me on according to the original path application. Let the story tear. What this basically means is as follows: when you move me on in a few weeks, you reopen the original path application with no strings attached to care plans, where I was to be moved on under police emergency. I'd like that path application reopened. I'd like you to address that in your final response.
I cannot promise you something I won't deliver.
Okay, what's happening here is where...
Yeah, I won't say something that I won't be able to deliver. Yeah, and I won't say that I will be moving you in a few weeks' time. Yeah, that does not depend on me. We don't have general needs where we can move you to. Yeah, it all depends on the council. Yeah.
Okay. I understand. Okay, I can understand. I'm not demanding, but it would be desirable if the move on I had was a path application that expired. Now, before to expire, it expired because nobody made any movement on it. For it to expire, it expired unfairly. In the name of fairness, I think it's only right that it should be reopened. What I really want is for you just to say to me that you're going to do a final response. You're going to write up a letter on this meeting and give it to me.
Now, there is very little time in terms of what me, as look ahead, we can do for you. Now, the most important thing is how we work with the London Sirenians, how they will be supporting you with your housing. They're here, yeah, and they can see what your concern, what your priority is.
Nothing to do with the complaint. All I want you
No.
All I want you to do is end this meeting by saying you're going to send a written response to this meeting. That's all I want.
I'm happy just to write to acknowledge that we met and we addressed, revisited the issues that you raised previously. I'm happy to do that.
Just promise me you'll send me something in writing in the next day or two, and I'm happy.
Yeah, that's fine. I can do that.
That's fine. Thank you very much. The self-regulatory system, when I get that written response, will have exhausted.